back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about, well, superheroes and comic books in today's world, but also specifically when it comes to superheroes and animated TV series and how things are going in terms of that genre. One of the things I've noticed is that a lot of animation, specifically, actually not just animation, superheroes in general, they've gone very dark in their storytelling. And now, mind you, many people may enjoy that from time to time. I feel that there's a world out there that's missing a whole world of lighthearted movies, shows, and comic books that are inspiring, harrowing, but more importantly, actually show heroism, actually showing light and light facing the darkness and overcoming it. And the thing is, a lot of that stems from the hearts of many people in the world, either fully becoming immersed in this idea that the only form of heroism is through injustice, overcoming injustice, or some form of fighting fire with fire. And it's very difficult to do that in this world because of the fact that if you fight fire with fire, everyone just gets burned. And then, of course, when it comes to the very specific nature of animation, kids are watching this, no matter what anyone says. If you look at Justice League, the animated series, back in the day as a kid, everyone I knew watched it, whether you're a kid or a grown up. I had uncles that watched it with me. I had cousins who were like in their 20s, or generally I watched it with anyone who wanted to watch these shows with me. And then as I grew older, I still feel that most of these shows hold up today. Justice League Unlimited, Justice League the animated series, Superman the animated series, Batman, with like the art style was Bruce Timm, and the voice acting was amazing. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Conroy, God rest his soul, God willing, he is in heaven. But man, so many things that happen in this world that can be easily explained through the fact that the hearts of people have turned away from the light. And for most people who don't know, for me, I'm a Christian and I believe Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. One second. Sorry, I had to adjust myself. I was sliding out of my chair. Anyway, so Jesus Christ being the way, the truth, and the life, and being the light of this world, the light in the darkness. What happens when you remove God from everything? Now, many people may not agree with what I'm saying. That's fine. You believe what you want to believe. This channel is for everybody. Whoever wants to hear about superheroes and comic books, and generally just any opinion that we're sharing, you're welcome to disagree. That's fine. Enjoy the video for what it is. A commentary on superheroes and the genre of comic books and the darkness that lurks within the hearts of many people who seem to be making these things. Now, if you look at other shows like The Boys is not. It's difficult to watch. I just couldn't watch it. I ended up skipping about 90% of the entire show. It's almost entirely innuendo and almost complete perversion. And now many people may love the show, and it's your choice. But I couldn't help but feel convicted every time I watched it because of the fact that there's so much nudity, so much gratuity of the overall behavior of these people. You had these heroes and a person who clearly despises superheroes and the concept of a hero saving the day and someone being special. It seems very callous and very kind of just sad. But personally, there are a few standouts here and there. You have Invincible. Now, Invincible may have a ton of issues that when it comes to, like I said, there's some dark nature to it, but there's still that little bit of hope that shines through with Mark trying to do what's right. And even Adam Eve trying to do what's right. I mean, it's generally, you have each character, Adam Eve, who can literally shape matter into anything, create energy, bolts of energy mostly, but she can really reshape matter or generate matter for that matter. But then you have all these different characters. You have Rexplode. Rexplode was just annoying. He's what would happen if you give a brat powers. And honestly, it's just kind of sad. It's weird, though, because the fact that it's expected a little bit. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and continue this. My thoughts are just that superheroes today need hope behind it if you really want to have a show that's lasting. Because if you don't have good versus evil and good triumphing over evil. And then every now and then you can have the villains win, but make sure that you bring it back around. Even in Star Wars, when you have the Empire Strikes Back, you need hope for a story to continue. Otherwise, you become stagnant. And that's what I'm feeling a lot of when I see a lot of these movies and shows is just a stagnant flow. And now I do like Invincible. Like I said, there's little issues with it, but I enjoyed it. I like the animation style. When it comes to animation, oh, it's my favorite. I don't know why. It's kind of the animation style that I'm trying to learn in a way. I'm trying to learn it so I can create some animated trailers for the comic books that we're working on. Now, there's a lot of independent work that I've been seeing recently. I did a video on it previously called Discord, and then we have our own personal work that we're working on, and a few people that I support on Twitter, and other people that I've met through the grapevine generally. And it's been amazing just meeting these very supportive people. All of you who support this channel, thank you for supporting what we do. I know that you don't see my brother very often. That's because he is kind of more of a behind the scenes kind of guy. And I used to be, and I'm still trying to jump into this. It's kind of, I'm jumping into the deep end when it comes to this stuff on YouTube. So every little thing that I do is going to be difficult at times. And I think that's my brother in the background. I think that was his hand. There he is. So yeah, a lot of our work is going to be condensed here and there. We still have to. We're trying to decide whether we're going to separate the comic books because our original plan is to create to start with four 100-page graphic novels. These would be the launching point for our own superhero universe, starting with Velocity or Tales of Velocity or Chronicles of Velocity. We haven't fully worked out the titles yet. We're not on the title page yet. We're working on the panels. But when it comes to this, we have Velocity, we have Nexus, we have Tau, and then we have Primus Verde. Not exactly in that order, but close to that order. But generally, what we're trying to do is develop this huge universe. We're going to be introducing other characters in that universe too that will have their own storylines later down the line. But we don't want to get overwhelmed. So we're doing it little by little, taking our time. We're not going to take too long, mind you. We're hoping to release at least one comic book this year digitally, and then when we really get into it, when we're thinking about kind of releasing like a digital issue number 0, so to kind of tell the origin, get people interested. But we'll see. We're not sure yet. We're not trying to. We don't want to be flakes, and we don't want to promise anything. We're just doing what we can with what we got. Kind of new to. We're extremely new to this because I've only done a few like small independent comic books when I was a kid, and well, it's been a long time. Let's just say that. And generally speaking, when it comes to this, managing a network, managing all these different things, it's very time consuming, and it's kind of fun at times, especially interacting with all the people on Twitter. My favorite people, I'm not going to mention them because I don't have their permission. I'm not going to mention them without permission. And anyway, you know who you are, all of you who have been supporting any of the things that we post, whether you're hearting it on Twitter, liking it on Twitter or whatever, or liking our videos on YouTube or retweeting it or whatever we're doing. Sharing it however you can has really helped, and it's amazing. Considering the fact that we just started, I can't wait to see what the future actually holds for this channel and for the work that we're doing. We're planning a lot of different projects. And anyway, I've kind of got sidetracked there for a second, but I really want to thank you all. It means a lot, and God bless all of you. But I also want to continue talking about superheroes in general. Some of the characters we've been developing, like Velocity, and some of the stories that he'll be having are going to be stories of loss and love, and a lot of him trying to overcome his own fears and trying to fight. He's this teenager who's been thrown into a mix of battles that a teenager shouldn't have to face. But it kind of has a reflective nature of how the Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers, rulers, and the authorities, and the forces of darkness in this world. And so naturally, we're trying to tell this story. A lot of our comic books actually have this kind of flow, but in this direction, because we want to have kind of like a parable feel of lessons learned through trial, tribulations, and overall growth. Some characters are going to be villains who become heroes or at least become good in general, leaving behind their lives of crime. Some who will remain that way. Some who will probably die in giving their lives to do what's good. Some who give their lives just because they're pointless. We will introduce some characters intentionally to make the story flow, but we don't want to, like I said, we don't want to drown out in everything that we're doing with needless stories. So we want to create stories with purpose as much as we can. And pardon me if you don't hear my voice completely clearly. I'm kind of dry now. I might have to go get some tea. But anyway, most of this video, I know it's a bit here and there, but I want to talk about superheroes and the genre of superheroes and where it's gone. And I'm hoping to see more lessons and stories of hope out there in the world. No one needs darkness to tell a story if you don't have light. Light must always overcome the darkness. That's how it must go in the end. At the very least, if you're not going to tell it with a direction and a flow, if it's a one-part story, if it's a one-off, you need to have heroism, justice. That's what needs to be done. Superheroes are about truth and justice. And yes, the American way, how it used to be anyway, but more importantly, even God's way. Whatever is truthful, whatever is just, whatever is noble, think on those things. If you don't think on those things, what happens? You lose sight of what's good, what's right and wrong. Anyway, I've kind of gone on a little sermon there. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you've liked this video, please subscribe to this channel and ring the bell icon down below to be notified when I post new videos, and hit the thumbs up button if you, like I said, if you like this video. And please share with your friends. Share with your friends. I have a lisp or something. What the heck? Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. This has been Create TV. God bless.